Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger. We have new information tonight on the effort to clean up the Laredo Place rockfall. The Billings City Administrator has been working with neighbors to let them know how the city is moving forward with the cleanup. Now, the city has been working with environmental engineering firm Terracon to get an expert to take on the stability of the rocks left after that fall. Terracon told the city that the pile of rocks left after the fall is currently stable. Residents have been worried about a remaining chunk of rock left attached to the rims. Terracon has recommended that the rock be pinned to prevent it from falling and causing even more damage. Above the rims, the city has been working with the property owner to allow access to the remaining piece of rock from above. On Friday, the city will advertise the bid to find a contractor to remove the rocks from the street. Contractor is expected to be chosen by October 22nd. Well, 5 years after failing for the first time, the second chance for a Billings non-discrimination ordinance scuttled almost as quickly as it was introduced. The ordinance would make discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity illegal in employment, housing, and public accommodation. Q2's Mitch Leahy standing by with more from Councilmember Cromley and reaction from the LGBT community. Mitch?
That's right, Russ. Back in September, City Councilman Brent Cromley said he planned to bring the ordinance before the council in mid-October. But in an email to Q2 News, Cromley said he doesn't want to put stress on the LGBTQ community if the ordinance failed to pass. He still supports an NDO for Billings, however, saying that Billings needs to compete with other Montana cities like Helena, Bozeman, and Missoula that have all passed NDOs. Supporters of the ordinance are hopeful that it will be brought up again by a new city council that will be elected this November. Prominent NDO supporter Amelia Marquez released the following statement to Q2, saying, quote, "With the municipal elections nearing in, we believe we can create true change by electing a more progressive council. We will continue to focus on creating a safe community for Billings and to help folks understand that an NDO would only create equal rights for everyone." Now, in 2014, people against the NDO argued that there was no need, based on a perceived lack of evidence of any discrimination. At the time, others cited religious reasons and the aspect of the ordinance that would have prevented discrimination in bathrooms. Russ?
All right. Thank you, Mitch. Turning to weather now, we saw a little light snow out the window here in downtown Billings today, but pretty much everyone's feeling that cold tonight.
Yeah, and it was a very cold night last night, too. We actually had some record sets. Let me show you what we do have here. We start off tonight with this. Look at this over by Cutbank. Of course, they had the big snowstorm, right? Well, they wound up with 1 degree for the overnight low this morning. The old record was 15 degrees. They blew the doors off that record. Then over at Great Falls, they dipped down to 9 degrees, a new record there. The old record was 22 degrees. So, wow, a new cold record low in those areas. Elsewhere around the state, temps are mostly into the 20s and 30s. Just a very chilly night last night. And as you can see tonight, we're still looking at some scattered snow showers coming down off the Beartooth Mountains, heading towards Billings and moving right up towards the Glasgow area where it's a little warmer. The snow is starting to change over to rain showers. In the southeast corner of the state, that's a winter weather advisory until midnight tomorrow night, looking for 2 to 4 more inches of snow in that area. And as you'll see, the Doppler radar and our high-resolution forecast model shows those snow showers will stick around throughout the rest of the night and into tomorrow morning. But eventually by tomorrow afternoon, that stuff spins itself out of here, and we're looking at warmer temperatures and sunny skies moving in tomorrow afternoon. Russ?
All right, thank you, Bob. Well, no matter what kind of storm it is, snow, hurricane, wind, ice, or fire, there's usually a reporter or meteorologist in the worst weather telling you that you shouldn't be there. Tonight, MTN's Curtis Grebnitz finds out what Montana offers to make sure your trips are safe.
Yours truly was that meteorologist that drove into the worst of this record-breaking snowstorm, reporting from Browning and Cutbank, where blizzard conditions dropped nearly 4 feet of snow. Trusty photographer John Riley and I did not just go for a Sunday joyride on a whim. It was dangerous, cars were off the road, but it was a decision planned out and prepared for. Up until the morning of, we were in direct contact with the Montana Highway Patrol and the Department of Transportation about road conditions and our intent of travel. Had either office told us not to drive because of the adverse weather conditions, we would have heeded their warnings. Fortunately, we were privy to the anticipated weather. The vehicle we drove had four-wheel drive with studded snow tires and plenty of ground clearance to get through the snow. The vehicle was equipped with a winter survival kit, an emergency medical kit, and we were not traveling alone. And there really is merit to slow and steady wins the race. Our purpose for travel was to share not only the dangers of the weather conditions, but to help disseminate information on the worst of the storm to those that may intend on traveling. What roads were closed, how bad it really was, and when would conditions improve for safer travel were the messages we were trying to relay. Much thought and preparation went into our personal safety, but also the safety of you, our viewers. And now, you're a little more weather-wise.
Well, the Cascade County Sheriff's Office has released the names of those who died in a crash Monday morning near Armington Junction. 4 people died and 2 were injured in that 2-vehicle crash. According to a release from the Sheriff's Office, the victims are 51-year-old Jolinda Lee LaFranchi, 25-year-old Joy Bernier, 47-year-old Margaret Ann First Raised, and 34-year-old Ryan Scott. Now, all 4 were traveling in a Ford Mustang. 2 people in the other vehicle were critically injured. Their names have not been released. Montana Highway Patrol continues to investigate the cause of that crash. Missing and murdered people in Bighorn County, the focus of a new task force. The recent disappearance and subsequent death of 18-year-old Sarah Stops Pretty Places marked the 27th woman to go missing out of that county. And that's something that County Attorney Jay Harris wants to end. He says the Bighorn County Missing and Murdered Persons and Investigation Task Force will involve active case studies and policy review by agencies at all levels, from local and tribal all the way to state and federal partners. The Bighorn County Attorney's Office is also taking over all investigations within the county related to suspicious deaths. Harris says this motion has the support of the Bighorn County Sheriff, and the Board of Commissioners is looking to enact a resolution declaring its support. Governor Steve Bullock was in Bozeman today, specifically Montana State University. One of the most historic buildings on campus was his focus, in the middle of a massive restoration right now. MTN's Cody Boyer was there and talked with the governor himself to see what comes next.
After years of trying, Romney Hall is getting the facelift that MSU leaders say it needed, something MSU President Wadad Cruzado knows well.
Romney Hall was in the governor's list in 2013, and in 2015, and again in 2017. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, again in 2019.
Governor Bullock got the grand tour, taking a look at what used to be space for about 140 students, at least back in 1922. After this $32 million expansion, that capacity will go up to over 1,000 students, something students like Taylor Blossom see benefiting the future.
I have a younger brother who's a freshman here now, and it's just so exciting to me to think that in 4 years, or however long, we'll get to see this building is what it will be for future generations.
Right now, Romney Hall only has about 875 square feet of space. After the renovation, we're looking at about 3,000. It's taken time, and when asked, Bullock says he's supported it even during the wait.
Well, Romney had my continued support for the last 6-7 years, because both it really is sort of at the heart of this community and this college, and knowing that there's no way that you'd necessarily get private funders to take care of this.
And the nearly 20 new classrooms will garner towards math, writing, and TEAL classes, something MSU officials say is needed. And Bullock agrees with that.
A century-old building that really is in the heart of Montana State University, knowing the contribution that the university makes not only just to the individual students, but to our entire state, that we had to get this done.
Romney Hall is set to open in the fall of 2021. In Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
Coming up on tonight's 10 o'clock news, more subpoenas being released in the House's impeachment investigation. It's drawing sharp criticism from those closest to the president. Plus, the Pink Panther has made his way to Billings, and it's all because of a young boy with a big heart. And later in sports, Skyview's girls put their 25-match unbeaten streak on the line against a hungry West squad.
You're watching MTN News with Janelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.